All right, let's get started. First, we will have the introduction of our director and our outreach staff. Then we will have a mini commercial for Fair Housing Hotline. Then we will introduce our special guests, our guest panelists. Then we'll talk to you about some more upcoming events, and then we will close out. So now I will introduce to you Miss Onika Porter, which is our administrative manager.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, I'm Onika Porter. I am going to introduce our director. His name is Mr. Tom McCaslin, and I'm going to also introduce our outreach team. I am Onika Porter, as you'll be able to see on the screen shortly. That is me. I'm the admin manager. Latasha Smith, who spoke previously, she's our community involvement coordinator. Pedro Sosa, he is also a community liaison. Becky Benitez, she is a community liaison. And Dejanay Jones, she's a community liaison. Thank you all for joining us today, and we hope you get a lot of information today.
The Fair Housing Act prohibits housing discrimination based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, disability, and familiar status. If a landlord refuses to rent to you because of your service animal, the language you speak, or the color of your skin, you may have been a victim of housing discrimination. If you feel that you have been discriminated against, call the Department of Housing and Urban Development at 1-800-669-0777. Want to learn more about fair housing rights? Call the Fair Housing Hotline at 832-394-6240.
Right. So today we are doing something a little bit different than what we have done in the past for our workshops. Instead of us having presentations from each individual person, we will be doing interview questions to all our experts, our panelists. So what I am going to do, as you can see on your screen, the individuals that are highlighted, those are our panelists for today. So we're going to start with our licensed realtor, and I'm going to allow each one of them to introduce themselves, as well as tell what company they work for and how many years of experience they are bringing to you today. We're going to start with our realtor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yvette Donato, and I am a licensed realtor here in Texas. I have had my license for going on 12 years now. I am with Sapphire Realty. Chandra Ware is our broker owner, and I am excited about what I do and happy to be a panelist. And anything that I can do to help you understand the processes that you're going through, don't hesitate to ask the question. I'm here for that tonight. Amen. Woo, let's get it.
I love her spirit. All right. So next down the line, we have a owner, and he is a certified HVAC technician, Mr. Marvin Watts.
Yes, hello everybody. Good evening. I'm Marvin Watts. I am a licensed contractor. I've been doing this 20 years. Been in business for myself for about roughly 14 years. Here to join in and answer any questions you guys have, and participate freely.
All right. So now we have a certified plumber, Mr. Carlos.
My name is Carlos A. Rojas with Reliable Renovation Services. 32 years of plumbing in the plumbing industry. I have 12 years with my business, owning my own business. Been doing plumbing for, like I said, 32 years in the plumbing industry. I'm here to, if you have any questions, we're here to help you out.
Also, we have Brenda. Brenda, can you introduce yourself as well?
Yes, ma'am. I am Brenda. I'm the back office for Reliable Renovation Services. I'm here also to answer any of the questions that you guys have regarding plumbing.
All right. Awesome. Thank you all for being here and being safe. All right. So now we have one more. Is Mr. Patrick on the line?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
I'm here.
okay. Mr. Patrick, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Patrick Watkins. I'm representing Warrior Electric. I've been in the business for 25 years doing electrical, and I'm here to answer any questions you may have about electrical.
All right. So we have an electrician, a plumber, HVAC technician. We also have a realtor. I think we pretty much have post maintenance covered. I could not do this without our team, and I have a co-host tonight. We're kind of working together on this, Mr. Pedro Sosa. So you all say hello to Mr. Pedro. Pedro, can you tell about yourself, just a little bit about yourself as well?
Yes, I've been with the city and I'm with the Constituent Service Division. And we're here. We have so many different programs with the City of Houston Housing, and we want to try and help as many folks out there as possible. So some of these events that we're having is trying to reach out to the public and help them the best we can.
All right, Pedro. So we are ready to get started. As you can see, this is, I know some of our panelists is just coming from work, and we really do thank you all for taking out the time to share your information and the knowledge that you have. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Just relax, have fun with it, enjoy and learn. So I want you to keep the smiles on your face. I love the energy. It helps me get through it. So I want you to just be interactive. Like I said, if you have any questions, please put your questions in the chat so we can get those questions answered. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with our realtor. One thing I know for sure with home buyers, when you're fresh home buyers, you're excited. You're excited about a new way of living, different things that come with a new home buyer. So, but after a year, you may want to do some renovations. So we're going to start off with renovations, and we're going to ask some questions to our realtor on, what type of renovations should you have, or what type of renovations that brings value to your home. So we're going to go ahead and get started with our first question with Miss Yvette. I'm going to ask you, what renovations add the most value to a home, and what renovations devalue a home?
Okay, so in answering that question, I want you to always consider what is going on that year and for the current market, okay? You don't want to do renovations from 1990 in 2021. So you have to get online, you have to do your due diligence, and I want you to search, top 10 renovations for the year that you're in, all right? So for the year of 2021, amazingly, one of the top renovations is a new garage door. Can you believe that? New garage door. They're saying that you get 92% value back from making that investment into the property. Okay. Who knew? New garage doors. Okay. Another top thing is remodeling your bathroom. Okay. When you're doing your remodeling, try to make it not so specifically for you. Just think, if I sell this house, who would want to come into it, right? So you're getting a gigantic whirlpool may be great for you, but the next person may not want that because they don't want to clean that whirlpool. They want, a step-in shower. So you're going to have to look to see what is trending with the new homes. Go visit some new homes and see what's being put in the new homes. How can I pattern my house to match what is being put in new homes. Not per se the over lavish stuff, but the style, the you know, the appliances. I mean, the what they're putting in, and kind of pattern that behind that, because if you decide to sell, you're going to be competing against who? The new homes, right? So you got garage doors, new bathrooms, and flooring, definitely flooring. Okay. You want to do something updated, something modern, and you want to stay away from the themed tile. Have you ever walked into a house and they have black and white tile, like they're doing a diner from like 1950s? That can be horrible. Okay. Or you see those tiles and they have the big flowers, and you know, and it's like, oh, I love this because it reminded me of my grandmother. But your grandmother, you trying to sell this house, right? So they're looking at, oh, we got to tear up these floors, let's go to the next place, right? So one of the hints that I want to give you is, if you're thinking about remodeling, go to a new home builder, you know, look around and see what they're doing and try to pattern your house behind that. Because if you're selling, your biggest competition is going to be a new house. Okay. So they can get my house, get some of those new cute things, and not pay for a brand new house. Does that make sense? Okay. Those are the things that will bring the most value. Oh, and interior painting will bring the most value, and really trying to stay away from those quirky personal things. Okay. Y'all don't put no wallpaper up on, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. No to the wallpaper. Okay. Don't do it. Just don't. Okay. Another thing that brings value to your house, keeping your curb appeal looking excellent, right? Fresh grass, beautiful flowers, trimmed hedges, that nice manicured tree. That that when you drive up, it's like, oh, that's home, you know? So try to keep all that looking good, your lawn grassy green. And those are the things that bring value, that bring value. And what you do not want to do is overpay to get things, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, and to get the to upgrading or renovating, you don't want to do that, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Okay.
All right, good answer. I'm gonna ask you this, just a quick question. Now, I know some people have bubbly personalities, so they want to paint their walls different colors.
No, 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 no,
No.
no, 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 no. We're gonna stay. Okay, so listen, y'all. We love bright colors. We do. But if you want to turn your house into a kindergarten room, you can do that. But everybody's not a kindergarten, okay? So putting like bright, really exciting colors, that's because people go, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I gotta have to paint this whole house. I love the floor plan, but now it's gonna take me $3,000 to cover, you know, this magenta that's on the wall, or this, you know, lime green that's on the wall, you know, or that Pepto-Bismol pink from, you know, the 1970s. So you want to try to stay within the trendy colors. The best way to do that, go to a new home builder, because you're going to see the light grays, you're going to see the light tans, the off-whites. Those are the cool colors, right? Or you're going to, you know, you can do it some of the beiges, some of the things that are transition easy. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Transition easy. And look, guys, if you want to put color in a room, that's fine. Just don't put it on your wall. Pop it on your colors. You know, pop it on your pillowcases. You know, your pillows, your throws. You know, your carpet. Your rugs. You know, you can add color by putting those items in. But please don't put them on your wall. Don't do that.
all
Don't do
right.
that. Okay. All
Awesome.
right.
Good information. Good information. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to turn this over to Pedro so we can talk more about the common issues and problems that you may face as a new home buyer. All right, Pedro.
All right, what we're going to do is we're going to go through each one of our guests, and we're just going to ask a few questions. They're some of the most common questions that people have asked us being in the city. So the first one, we're going to start off with our electrician, Patrick. Um, what are the most common signs that you may be having electrical issues?
On the electrical side, blinking lights, problems with small appliances. You may have a breaker tripping, uh, things like that. It's when you have electrical. It's a quick indication that something's wrong because you'll have lights blinking or you'll have something going off that won't work as a feedback of whatever's the connection problem or whatever on the home.
Okay, so you say the breaker box keeps shutting off or shutting half the house off, and it may need to get it checked out.
Absolutely. If you have that happen more than I would say more than once or twice, you probably want to get it checked out. Some of the older homes have that problem when you have now because back in the day they didn't have as many electrical appliances. So now people have a lot more appliances, and those small appliances really pull a large load. So it happens a lot in the older homes where they'll put a blender on or they'll turn a toaster on or microwave on, and it trips the breaker.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Patrick. And now we're going to move on to Carlos. So Carlos is a renovation as well, and he's one of our plumbers. So Carlos, what are the most common plumbing problems that someone has when they purchase a new home?
The most common is what we've seen lately, or it's sewer stoppages. That's mostly common. Uh, it's the sewer backing up. Even if the homes are new, there's some issues that come up because during the construction, sometimes the contractors forget, and we've seen this a lot of often as they forget to remove some test balls or some caps that are needed for during inspections. So those are some issues, but sometimes we do see a lot of it's sewer backups. Sometimes, and this is sometimes the sewer backups are caused even if it's a new home or even if it's an old home. It's just you just got to be careful what you flush down the toilets. You just got to be careful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I do know that I've talked to several people, and what they'll do, they'll go to that dollar store and they'll get that Drano from the dollar store. Now, some plumbers say that it doesn't work properly, but I mean, what do you suggest in that case if they try to do it themselves, but before they call you, and then you get there and they have a whole big mess?
Well, you just got to be careful because there are. Just let me give you an example. They go to these stores and they buy those. They say flushable wipes. Well, they're not flushable. They will get stuck inside the line in the turns. They will get stuck inside the 45s, inside the fittings. So even if it says flushable, they won't flush. Just be careful what you flush down there, and just like I said, it's just give you an example again. It be the toilets, but also the kitchens. We went to a customer one time. She said, the disposal's not working. I said, well, what did you put down the disposal? It won't chop up a banana. Well, it's not designed to chop up a banana. It's chop up, it's designed to just clean your plate, and throw your food, and that's it. But it's not designed unless you buy a commercial disposal. If you're a professional chef, yeah, you could get the professional disposal, but it's not designed to to grind up a banana, orange, or whatever. So those are the most common things that we see on the sewer backing up.
All right, thank you, Carlos.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to move to our HVAC technician, Marvin. Marvin, what are some of the typical HVAC problems that you've seen when somebody purchases a home, maybe that they're unaware of?
Well, I would stress I've run across a lot of issues where people are getting these homes and they're not getting it inspected. They're not They're not getting an inspector to come out and check out the HVAC system and just do a general check. That's really key. Maintenance is a big deal when you trying to sell your home. If you had maintained your HVAC equipment as you on an annual basis, you're going to run across some problems trying to sell it. With those homes that do have inspectors come out, they tend to not, when they check them and you hadn't had a routine inspection annually, you will run across some problems, and that could cause a lot of headache in the long run financially. So, I mean, I stress general maintenance, filter changes, cleaning coils, blowing out drain lines, stuff like that. Because I mean, a clogged drain could damage the ceiling. You have sheetrock damage. You know,
Right.
poor, dirty coils could ruin your compression. You know, it's just general maintenance when it comes to uh, when you're trying to sell a home or buy a home. Just make sure you do your due diligence and find out and call a HVAC tech out to check out the system before you purchase that home. I recommend that. Even though you may have an inspector come out, sometimes they don't go into detail when they checking out the HVAC system. They may just not know what to look for. You know, they're not concentrating on one thing per se. You know, they're just doing a general inspection. So.
All right. Thank you for that answer.
All right. Well, now we're going to go into home insurance, which is a biggie. Most people, when you're getting into a new house, you may get a policy, a home insurance policy. But what does your home insurance policy include? What does it cover? So I'm gonna go this before we go to the experts. In each individual area, I'm gonna ask the realtor. When individuals are purchasing a home, they're in the closing. I know you all require that they get home insurance. Am I correct?
What the realtors do not, we don't have a requirement. However, if they're getting a loan from a financial institution, they will. If it's a FHA loan, if it's a conventional loan, if it's a VA loan, they will require the clients to have insurance coverage on the property because, hey, they're lending you money. If something happens, they want to be reimbursed if there's damage to the house, right? So
Yes.
when you're getting your insurance policy, understand this, that when you're talking to the insurance rep, do call 2 or 3 people to get the best quote for you, right? Find out with your lender what coverage you're needing. They're going to tell you, oh, you need this amount of money to cover the building and structure, right? Now, once you have that you can also talk to them about how much coverage you need for the items that you own with inside your house, right? So if the house catches on fire, they will give you money to fix the house, but then they'll also give you money to buy a new couch, okay? A new sofa. They'll give you that money. And that's 2 different areas of the policy, okay? What people often confuse is, oh, if I have home insurance, if something happens to my refrigerator, I can call my home insurance. No, that's a totally different type of coverage. And now that we're talking about insurance, we got to go into that because that's very important. If you're a homeowner, you got to have 2 different types. You know, one of them you really don't have to have, but I encourage you to have the second one. The first one you got to have if you got a loan. If you purchase that house cash, you really don't have to have it, but it's not wise if you don't. You understand? It's not wise because if that house burns, everything that you just put in it is gone. And everything, all of your assets are gone. So it is important that you have insurance for your house, okay, to cover your house. Okay, please do that. Okay.
All right, all right. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk to some of the other experts about home insurance. Um, our electrician, Patrick, the question that I have for you, is electrical wiring covered by homeowners insurance?
I don't know of any electrical wiring that's covered under homeowners insurance unless you're talking about an electrical fire that started at your home or something of that nature. But I haven't had any insurance company or anybody have any claim calling me out to repair any electrical for their home. Now I did have some electrical on the home warranty insurance,
Warranty.
which is different from
Yes.
your home owner's insurance. Now, the home warranty insurance is an insurance policy that the realtor was speaking of, was separate from your home owner's insurance, which covers anything that may go wrong at your house, like your AC may go out, you may have a plumbing issue, or you may have an electrical issue. And
Right.
like the realtor was saying, I encourage any new homeowner to have that kind of insurance at least the first 2 years of your home to know your house, to get to know everything that's actually working in your house, because you're not gonna know if your hot water will go out, or if your AC will go out or something like that. And it helps you in those areas. You'll just pay a deductible or whatever it is, and you'll get it replaced. But that's the only a coverage that I know of as far as electrical items in the home.
All right, all right. See, you all are going straight into my questions that I want to ask about warranty versus home insurance, but I'm glad you introduced that because that is very important. A lot of people do not know the difference. When they
They
purchase
don't.
home insurance, they think that it is a warranty and it covers everything in the home, including when you have a flood. These are things that people think about. So I'm glad that you introduced that. So I'm gonna go to Carlos. Carlos, the question that I have for you, what kind of plumbing damage aren't covered by home insurance?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna answer that question if I don't. Okay, repeat that question again.
The question is, what kinds of plumbing damage aren't covered by home insurance?
I guess backups, sewer backups, and
It all depends on the policy that they.
it mainly depends on the type of policy you have. You have to be very careful when you get insurance policies because, like for instance, I'm going to give a brief example as far as like the recent freeze that we had. We had a lot of claims, but it just depends. Some of them were covered, but it's because of the type of policy that you have. So you have to read very carefully on the prints and what type of coverage you elected when you got your coverage, because it's kind of like a car policy. You can opt out of a lot of these coverages, or you can, have them. Of course, it's going to cost you a little more, but in the long run, if you want to pay for them, it will pay for, like for instance in the freeze, everybody that had busted pipes and they had that coverage, the insurance paid for all of that. It paid for either a full repipe or it paid for a partial, just to fix, all the pipes that were burst due to the freeze. So you just have to be very careful, I guess, when you are getting an insurance coverage.
All right, all right. Good answer. Thank you so much, Brenda. Now we're gonna go to Marvin. With, I'm sorry, I'm just buzzing. Marvin, I know we talked about, pretty much everyone talked about different things that the policy covers. Have you seen where there was like an AC unit that wasn't covered? And what was the
Well,
reason why they didn't cover it?
as far as okay, are we talking about insurance for the new home, or are we talking about like American Home Shield type insurance? What exactly are we
American
talking
insurance for a new home, or if you
about?
have
Okay.
two different scenarios, that's fine.
Most new homes, they come with some kind of coverage on a new HVAC.
Mhm.
Some I've seen some a year, some 2 years. I guess it just depends on the builder or
Correct.
that's constructing the home. But after that, you're pretty much on your own. And if you don't have like independent insurance, like American Home Shield, something like that, um, that's uh, that's pretty much what the coverage. They'll pay a deductible to fix what's wrong and come out and do stuff like that. But you do have some
Miss,
coverage with the HVAC on a new home. Yes, you do. On a new home.
Mi-
On an existing home, I'm not sure about that.
On it,
Miss Smith,
yes.
can I expound on that? Because I understand, because I, from a realtor's perspective, I see a side that the AC guy, the all of the other panelists may not see. Okay, so as we were talking about, the home owner's insurance is for the house and the items in the house. The home warranty, or the service warranty, is its other name. And what that does is it provides coverage for AC, plumbing, electrical, appliances. If you have a swimming pool, it covers those items. So if your refrigerator goes out, you can have them come and they'll check on the refrigerator, get the parts to fix it, or they'll replace the refrigerator, right? Not at the full cost. Now, most service warranty are home warranties, not homeowners insurance, okay? Home warranty. What they will do is they will have a deductible. So your oven goes out. You call the home warranty company and tell them, hey, my oven's not working. They'll send somebody out. That person will diagnose the problem. If it's fixable, they will get that part, get your oven back up and operational. That is $75. That's a copay, right? In the event that they can't and they have to get you a new oven, instead of paying $75, you may pay $125. But that's a big jump. Uh, if you don't have it, you'll be paying $500-$600 to buy a new oven, right? Okay. So the thing is, with the service warranty, you pay for that yearly. So the policies can start as low as $500. They can go upwards to $800-$900 if you have a pool. Okay. But it's I advise you to get a home warranty. I do. Because like they're saying, the home insurance, you got a leaky faucet. Guess what? Hello, I need somebody out here, $75. Without one, it's hello, $100 trip charge. Wait a minute. What if, okay, so wait, you gonna pay 100? Okay, wait. So $125 a trip charge. Then I gotta pay for your labor, and you're gonna add all of that, and then I gotta get the supplies. So this little bitty plumbing leak then went from, could have been $75 to about 350, possibly $400, depending upon how bad the leak could be or what damage it is. You understand what I'm saying? So you're covering yourself by having that service warranty. Now, like Mr. Marvin was saying, like with a new home purchase, okay, generally they will give you what is called a 1 year on the house and the structure, 10 years on the foundation, and all of the different appliances in the house have their own service warranty with that company. So whoever provided the HVAC, you may have a 10-year warranty on that HVAC. You may have a 5-year warranty on the stove. You may have, a 5-year warranty on the washer and dryer that you're in there. But you got to register those items. If you don't register those items and you miss the deadline, or you don't register the items, they don't know who you are. So when you call, and guess what? They can't help you. Okay?
Mhm.
So that is why it is important to have both of those especially if you're about a resale home, because you don't have any backup. You don't have a builder to go to within that first year to say, hey, something's not right. Normally within that first year, you're under the total warranty. Okay, just depends on who that builder is. Some will give you 2 years, but I'm hoping that breaks that down, and I hope that takes a lot of pressure off of the other panelists, because they're like, well, we don't really do that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you for stepping, but I appreciate all of your answers. So we have a understanding that it's best to purchase home insurance, which is probably required, but it's also necessary that you purchase a warranty for your home, because you're covering yourself. And that's pretty much for all the individuals on the panelists. And it helps you all far as payment is a guarantee. So that's a good thing. So now I'm going to pass it back to Pedro so he can talk more about inspection.
All right, thank you, Tasha. Yeah, we have other questions to ask, so we're gonna go ahead and start with our electrician, Patrick. As far as the inspections, so some of the questions, or one of the major questions is, when do you need to get an electrical inspection? And when do you need to get an electrical inspection, and how often should you get one?
If you're buying a new home, you should get an inspection report. Hopefully, your realtor is making sure that you get your home inspected, or the home that you're buying is being inspected for all those kind of things. And they're going to check pretty thoroughly all of your electrical stuff, and they're going to go through every plug, every switch, every light, make sure that everything is working in your home. And that would be the inspection report that you would have to check before moving into your home. It would give you a good idea of what you need to do in your home, and you could tell the people that own the home, or if it's a new home, it probably won't be much on it. Or the people that are selling it to you will repair all the stuff before you move into it. But those are the only inspections that you would have. Other than that, unless you're doing a renovation to your home, depending on your city codes and where your home is located, you may have a city inspector come inspect the work and make sure that everything is working properly and is installed correctly.
And what about when you purchase? It says that when you purchase a home and it's an older home and it still has, say, cloth around those wires, but it's falling apart. It's time to change them out, correct? No.
It depends on what. If you're moving into the home and you see that situation and you're a prospective buyer for that home, I would ask the people to repair that. If they don't repair it, you would put that into your budget of changing that out, or know that you're going to have to change that out once you get into the home, because you're probably going to have electrical issues, and your report probably reads that it needs to be changed out as well. The inspector that comes for your home will tell you that, yeah, you need to change this entire panel light, or you need to repair this bedroom, or this light, this kitchen light doesn't work. It'll give you all those breakdowns as far as your electrical is concerned.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Patrick. So we're going to move on to Carlos, which is our plumber. So as far as inspections, Carlos, how important is plumbing maintenance on the home, and how do I maintain my plumbing inside my home, my new home? Like, say, whether it's an old home or a brand new home, an older home or a brand new home.
Yeah, well, like Patrick was saying, the electrician, I agree with him. On new homes, you won't have too much maintenance the first years, but maintenance-wise on a new home, what we do recommend is on your water heaters. Water heaters need to be maintained. Do a PM on them, yearly maintenance, just like your AC. You got to do PM on them, drain them, flush them out, check your TMP valve, do a visual inspection. You want to make sure you extend the life of your tank, because sometimes if you don't flush your water heaters, the tank will rot out. So when the tank busts, you got a whole different situation. You can't repair that. You just got to replace it. So that's one of the key points in maintaining your plumbing. Water heaters is one. New homes, old homes, that's a key point that you have to maintain your water heaters. Plumbing wise, also your plumbing pipes, toilets, you got to do the same. Just like Patrick said, if you're buying a new home, you won't see these issues, but older homes, you would see different issues like, leaky toilets or leaky flush valves, showers, that's stuff that you need probably get with the inspector and try to get that inspected so you could get it repaired or get the homeowner, the seller to fix. So that's what I recommend.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Carlos.
You're welcome.
So, and now for our HVAC technician. If you just moved into a home, when should I schedule a maintenance appointment? I mean, I know they're probably going to run one before you buy the home, but should you get one in 2-3 months or to be on the safe side? When would you suggest they ask to get an inspection done on the home?
I would suggest 6 months to a year after the initial inspector checks everything. You want to stay on top of that, as I've stated before, because cleaning coils and changing filters and drain lines, you have to do this to maintain the life of the equipment and just general operations. As far as, especially in a new home, you want to keep that SEER rating up, and those things like just basic maintenance, preventative maintenance, will help do that. You don't want to neglect your unit. You just bought older new home. You wanna get as much value out of it, because the life expectancy of equipment, HVAC equipment, is 10 to 15 years. You want to try to prolong that as much as you possibly can.
Okay. So throughout the year, what steps should they take? Like you said, just make sure there's no branches on the unit outside, and something's leaking
Yeah,
upstairs.
I mean, if you have a P trap with a blowout, you pour Clorox down there. If you feel comfortable going in the attic to do that, you go outside, you shut the unit off, you clean your coil, your condenser coils outside. Make sure the unit's off, and you don't want to use too much, water pressure. Just clear the unit of all debris. Change your filter. It's a must. You have to change your filters on a regular basis. Put a reminder in your phone to change the filters. This is key. Just these are the little things you can do as a homeowner to try to prevent major repairs.
Okay, good. Thanks. That's a lot of good information. Thank you, Marvin.
Mr. Sosa, what I normally tell my people is like when they are making their mortgage payment, change your filter. Once a month, change your filter once a month. And and Mr. Marvin can probably back me up on this. We had a rental tenant, and she was running her AC on all day. And so it's not supposed to be on all day, okay? Because the unit froze up. And when that happens, you have damage that, it's built up. So don't leave it on, leave it on auto and set it at, the appropriate temperatures, right? So you don't want to do that. And you want to, like Mr. Marvin is saying, take care of your unit. Take care of your unit because it'll take care of you. Y'all know it's Texas. We don't want to die in the heat.
It's like your car. If you don't take care of it, you're going to be stranded, especially in the heat. You want to make sure you take care of it so you have a nice, cool home to come home to. Okay.
All right. So now what we're going to talk about is how can I save money? And I think our realtor kind of like introduced us to what I'm going to ask, and I'm going to start with Marvin. Ask the question, us in Texas, like she said, we always thinking about our bill, our electric bill, and how we can manage our electric bill. So my question to you, Marvin, is I know we're in the summer, going into the fall. What temperature would you suggest should we set our thermostats on during the summer and during the winter?
Well, this is the thing. If you want to save or try to be energy efficient, you want to keep it at 78. But there again, we're in Southeast Texas. The humidity, you're not going to, I mean, me personally, I can't do that. So, I mean, 78 is a stretch, but that's the kind of the benchmark to where you want to keep your thermostat at if you want to try to save, on your electric bill. Now, there again, if you're just talking about comfort and you just, that is whatever you feel comfortable. Some people like it at 72. Some people like it at 75. It's whatever you feel comfortable. You should keep your thermostat. There
Okay.
again, like I say, what is your concern? Are you trying to save a buck, or are you trying to, stay cool? It's up to you.
You
So,
know,
in general,
we're trying to save a buck because we just purchased this house. But
so that's 78. That's 70. And there again, you got a lot of these. I recommend getting a thermostat, if a Wi-Fi thermostat, where you or a programmable thermostat. That way, you could shut it off when you're not home,
oh wow.
and you could control it. You could have it come on an hour before you get home, so you could be comfortable. Or you could, on the way home, if you have a Wi-Fi able thermostat, you can just turn it on. By the time you get home, you're feeling comfortable.
Oh, that
But
is
there
a
again, go ahead.
okay. Thank you. Thank you for that suggestion. So now I'm gonna go to Carlos. Um, how how do I avoid? We're still talking about saving money. How do I avoid frozen pipes?
Frozen pipes. How do you avoid it? There's a lot of people say I leave the water on all night and run it. Me personally, in my opinion, I'll shut the water off at the meter at the shut off valve and drain your system all the way down, all the way down. And in the morning, it just turn it back up slowly, and then just refill your system, and you shouldn't have any problems. Because there was a lot of people that that they leave the water running all night during the freeze, and they run water all night, and they're losing water, and they still all their lines were still busted and still frozen. Now saving water or saving sometimes high water bills, because we're talking about trying to save on saving money. Sometimes we get high water bills and we don't see where we have the leaks at. And I've seen customers say, "Hey, we get calls saying, you know what, I got a high water bill, but I don't see no leak outside. I don't see any leaky faucets." But sometimes we forget that the toilets are leaking and we don't see them because the flappers are leaking through. We see water running through the flapper, and the easy way to check that out is you get some food coloring and just throw some in the tank, and then you could just see the water starting to change color inside the bowl. So that's one way you could say, hey, your flappers bad, so just replace it. That's one way of saving money, because one drip at a time, leaky faucets, one drip at a time, they will add up. So that is spend a lot of drippy drops, and it spend a lot of money.
All right, all right. Thank you for that. Now we're gonna go to Patrick. Patrick, the electrician. How can I save money? Um, what uses the most electricity in a home?
Uh, in the summertime, probably your AC. It's probably what's pulling the most in the summertime. But your small appliances actually is what pulls the most electricity in your home, like a toaster, a microwave, a iron, things like that. Usually pulls the most power. Most people like to offset their electrical bill by, like you were saying, set your AC at 78 and turn your ceiling fans on, which kind of offsets some of the heat in your home, which a lot of people use the ceiling fan, to offset the AC and bring the AC up a little bit so it doesn't work as hard in the summer.
Hmm. I don't know. I would think that the television will be the one thing that is the most expensive. And we use everybody have to have a TV in their room, so I would think that would be it. But it's the small items that kind of like, oh wow, I would have never thought that. So thank you for that information. Now y'all go and unplug those toasters that y'all
Yes,
have in the
ma'am.
kitchen. All right. So I'm gonna give this back over to Pedro so we can do our last subject matter. Unfortunately, our HVAC technician had to get back to work. I want to tell him so much that we appreciate him. But we're gonna go ahead and finish, and I'll give it over to Pedro.
All right, thank you, Tasha. We're going to go ahead and start with our electrician, Patrick. Um, so as far as major repairs, how can you tell if a house needs rewiring? And is it possible to rewire a home without removing the drywall?
Well, the way you could tell is, I don't know if you'll need to. The only way your house would need rewiring these days probably would be if it's an old home that had the old wiring. And when I say old home, I mean probably what 70s, 60s when they had maybe tubing in it. But the new wiring, you won't need to rewire your home probably for years. Now you may need to wire a bad connection at a certain place or a certain plug or something of that nature. Or you may need to replace your entire panel, like if you were talking about the panel that you were speaking of, an old panel on the back of your home, and you see it rusted out, or your breakers are constantly tripping at your house when you turn your toaster on, or you turn your microwave on, or something of that nature. That's when you know that you need to look at your panel and that some breakers or a circuit, you have something overloading your circuits. But
Okay,
other than that, no.
right. And when they do replace that wiring, but they do usually, it's just one of the questions was asked. So they would have to tear up some of the sheetrock. I'm pretty sure they can't just pull it through, but then again, I'm not sure. So,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like for instance, if you're doing a renovation to your house, let's say we're extending a room or you're moving a wall in your house, they're gonna remove that sheetrock, and you're gonna be able to see that electrical that's gonna be installed in that room before they put the sheetrock back on it. Like for instance, some people now are having, they're putting the TVs on the wall, so they're having to put a plug up behind the TV that's up higher than the lower plugs that are in the home.
right.
So in that situation, we are able to come off the bottom plug and extend your circuit up into that top plug, and we can do that without removing your sheetrock. We just cut a hole where we need to install the plug at and put it in there, but we don't have to remove any other sheetrock in your home. In those situations, yes, but other than that, if it's something major, yeah, the city ordinances they want to see that electrical is installed in correctly, because if it's not, it could cause a fire. So we're going to be inspected on pretty much all those kind of things.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And now, Carlos. So, as far as leaks go, Carlos, how can you tell if you do have a water leak? And what do you do if you have a water leak?
Well, signs that you have a water leak, of course, is you see spots in your ceiling. You see mildew. You see, I don't want to say the mildew or mold. You start seeing around the showers. That's the signs, and that those are the main issues that we've seen. How to avoid those? You just gotta do your maintenance, and you just gotta check. You know, make sure that you check your plumbing. Every, I would say, 6 months. If you see a spot, you know, just look at it and try to see if it keeps on growing. Just start checking, make sure that there's no other spots coming out.
Right. Okay. And another one for you, Carlos, is why do I have a sewer gas smell in my home? What does that cause, and what do they do about it?
Well, the sewer gas smell usually comes out because there's P traps dry out. They sometimes there's pipes that could be cracked inside the walls, or pipes could be not extending all the way in the attic. Every plumbing fixture should have a vent going all the way to the roof, and sometimes those vents are not extended, or sometimes older homes they crack. So every time you open a faucet or drain or toilet, flush a toilet, that sewer gas going up in the roof. But if you have a cracked pipe, well, that sewer gas is gonna, if you have a crack in the pipe, it's just gonna go inside the wall. Sometimes even something simple is you have a toilet that's rocking, it's loose. Well, the wax ring, that's what causes the wax ring seals the sewer smell. So that's one of the things that you have to check. Sometimes when you smell sewer, check your toilet, make sure it's not rocking. You sometimes need to tighten it up, or put some shims, and make sure it has caulking around the bowl and the towel. That seals, the sewer gas too. But there's dry P traps, like I said, and make sure you don't have any vents, any plumbing vents next to your return air, because sometimes those vents, you got sewer gas, exiting the building, but the return air sucks that air, or returns, goes back into the air conditioning. We've seen that a lot in homes, so you just got to be careful.
Okay. And the last question is, how often do you have to change the toilet ring down at the bottom?
The wax ring.
The wax ring, do they have to worry about that, changing that out, or maybe
Well,
once?
that usually is whenever you see it rocking or moving, or sometimes when your sewer backs up. That's one of the first things. If you see water coming out at the bottom of the base, let's say you start flushing the toilet, you start seeing water coming out at the bottom. That's time to change the wax ring, because it's lost its seal.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Carlos. That's a lot
You're
of good
welcome.
information.
Oh, wow. That was a lot of good information.
Yes.
I'm looking at the chat. I think we answered all the questions that was there. Is there anyone that is on the line that would like to ask a question?
I didn't know how to chat.
Well,
I tried
here,
to find, I couldn't. But I do have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
On the electrical, I know about the appliances, and you should unplug them to keep the electric bill down. But are the cords as good as unplugging them, the ones that you can turn on and off, like the strip cords? Am I saying it so you understand what I'm saying?
You saying disconnect them from the cord, or is
No,
that what you're
I have
saying?
like you have the plugs, so you can plug 5 things in. What
Oh,
do you call
you mean
it?
like a surge protector?
Yeah, a surge protector. If I have a surge
Or
protector with an on-off switch, can I just turn off the switch, or do I need to unplug it?
do you have what do you have plugged in the surge protector? Do you have appliances plugged into the surge protector, or you just have like computer stuff plugged into the surge protector?
Mostly computer stuff, but I do have one that things that I don't use that often. I have them
Okay.
plugged in,
Uh,
and then I just turn it off when I'm finished using it.
okay. For appliances and any home items that have heating elements in them, I would suggest that they only go plugged into a GFI protected plug. Uh, I don't think you should be putting any kind of like anything with a heating element in it and using a surge protector for it, because what happens is that's when you hear about people homes catching on fire from the room heaters, the space heaters in their room. A lot of
Right.
times that's from situations where they have those kind of devices plugged up into surge protectors or into a plug that is not GFCI protected, and it burns the plug up and it starts a fire. So that's why I was saying you shouldn't have anything with a heating element in it. That means anything that has to heat up quickly plugged into the surge protector, and it should be plugged into a GFI protected plug, which should be in your kitchens and also in your restrooms. All your bathrooms
Oh,
should also
yeah,
have.
I with that
Yes,
turns
ma'am.
off automatic. Okay, all right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
think
it'll
I
turn
think I
off
think what she's
automatically.
Mr. Patrick, I think what she's asking is when she has the um surge protector still plugged into the wall, even though
Yes, if
she
she
has
turns
different
it off,
items
it is
on,
off.
and when she cuts it off, what she's wanting to know is when she cuts the switch off, is that stopping the electrical current coming from the wall, or does she need to unplug it to stop the electrical current from coming through the wall where she's getting a bill? I think that's what
No,
she's
it's
asking.
once he turns it off, it's turned off. But my concern
Okay.
was the
Okay.
fire. I just once he told me that she had something else in it, I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that plug heating elements into something that's GFCI protected, because it is a safety issue.
Yes. Thank you, Yvette. That's exactly what I was trying to get to. Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that I know the reason why she's saying that is because we were taught that even if you turn the item off, that if it was still in the plug, that the electricity was still flowing and that it's still doing a current and that you're being charged for it. So from an electrician's perspective, you're the professional. See, we're trying to unplug everything, and you're saying no, as long as it's off, it's not charging.
Well,
But we were taught that it was. So
technically,
that's
tech, technically, yes, it is probably something that's going to your plug, that's going to your item, but it's not something that you will see on your bill. It's sort of like it's electricity going to all your plugs in your house right now too, but you're not using all of them, and
okay.
you can't turn
Okay.
them off. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's
Yes.
something. It's similar to that situation. If it's not on, or have a clock or something like that on it, and you turn it off, it shouldn't be pulling any real current to you.
All right.
It's not
Okay.
something that you'll see the difference in your bill in. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Patrick, for that. Um, do we have any other questions? Going once, twice? All righty then. Well, let's just give, a virtual hand clap to everyone today. I thank you so much for that information. You all have blew my mind. And yes, I'm one of them that's willing to unplug everything in the house right now to lower that,
Save some money.
lower that electric bill. So you all have I cannot thank you enough to this panelist. Um, you all have blew my mind today, and definitely everyone here I love when I can see people taking notes, and I can see people getting stuff, getting the information. Look, she have her yellow page the whole time.
Jackie.
I'm so happy that you all were able to get some information. I must say, one by one, Marvin, even though he had to leave, I understand he have to pay them bills. He have a job that he needs to do. I thank him so much. Carlos, you are a boat of information. I must say the same thing for Patrick as well as Yvette. You all shine bright. And I thank you for giving, for the opportunity to be in your presence today, and for you all to give the knowledge that you have learned for so many years of experience with our constituents of Houston and the surrounding areas. So I take my hat off to you right now and say thank you so much for what you did today. It was some great information, and I hope anyone that did not see this presentation today, that you tell someone to go to the website tomorrow and please download it. And I believe it's on YouTube. You can look at it over and over again, especially those that are just walking into their new home. Definitely, this is some information that is vital to you, because down the line you may need this same information. So thank you once again, and I'm gonna share my screen real quick. At least I thought I was. Okay. Um, there we go. So, like I said, I want to thank everyone. And also, I want to thank the program Section 3, the division within our department. Section 3 is a provision of the Housing and Urban Development Act of 1968 that helps foster local economy development, small business growth, and individual self-sufficiency. And the reason why I am thanking them, because a lot of our participants is they are a part of Section 3. And I will be talking to that division, telling them about the experience and the information that you all have brought today, that you all are very good at what you do, and I thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for sharing that with us today and accepting the opportunity to come today. So just going to the next slide, we do have some upcoming events. Like I stated, this is part of a series that we did. This is the last workshop, which was awesome. 360 Road to Home Ownership. I know some people just now hearing about this series that we have been doing for the last 4 months. However, please do not hesitate. We will be starting this series up again in October. So if you were not able to go to maybe the first workshop or the second workshop, you will have another opportunity to do that. But also, the information that was provided from day one to today was because we would like you to be a homeowner, and we want to prepare you for that and prepare you for success, not failure. That's why we are giving you this information, to eliminate any barriers that will deter you from being a homeowner. However, on next week, next Thursday, from the same time, 6 to 7 p.m., or a little bit later, we will be having a home buyers assistance fair. We will bring other nonprofit agencies that have non home buyers or down payment assistance programs, and we will give you that information. I don't see why people wouldn't want to live in Houston. However, I understand we will have information about our program, and we will have information about the Harris County program, Home Buyers Program. It's called DAP. We will have the city of Baytown here to talk about their program. And if those that did not know, there is a program for the state of Texas. We will have someone here to talk about that program. So if you are ready for home ownership, I beg you, be here next week. It is a virtual event, same place, same time. Also, what we have is virtual luncheon learns if you want to learn more about our programs, or we deal with topics that our different communities in the city of Houston deal with. We will be going over homelessness, awareness, prevention, and transitional housing. September the 24th, from 11 a.m. to 12:30. That is a Friday. Come and spend your lunch with us. I guarantee you will not regret it. So, once again, I want to thank you all. I am going to bring back up my manager, Miss Onika Porter, to close us out in any final remarks. There she is.
Hello, everyone. Thank you guys for joining us today. This was an awesome, awesome presentation. I am so pleased with all of the presenters. I mean, you guys did an amazing job. Thank you for joining us. I can't say thank you enough and how you guys make us look so good at what we do, because you guys came in and just made it that much greater. So we come up with the ideas and you guys help us execute it. And thank you for doing that so well. We definitely appreciate you all. And we want to welcome you back, because you know what? We'll be doing this again. As a matter of fact, we will need you back. We're begging that you come back. And thank you guys. So, and thank you all for everyone who joined us today to get this boatload of information. You know what? It was even helpful for me, considering that I just purchased a new home 2 weeks ago myself. So, although I got all this information before, like, to know like a lot of the stuff that I learned today was even helpful for me. And the questions that you guys had were amazing questions. So thank you guys. And if you, again, like Latasha said, I'm going to reiterate, if you did not attend the Road to 360 home ownerships before, the series is before, please tune in. Please tune in when we restart in October. There's a ton of information from start to finish. We're trying to get you to the home ownership process. I mean, this is something that we want everyone to strive for, because it's extremely important. And we want everyone to become a homeowner. So we are glad that this was a success, and we look forward to having everyone back again. Thank you guys for joining us. And please, 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 also please join our other events, our Lunch and Learn. We always have information. The topics are different every month, and we always have events going on. So please tune into our website. There always be, our upcoming events will be uploaded, even if it's something that we didn't mention today. They will be uploaded. Okay. Thank you guys, and have a good night.
All right. All right.
Thanks, everyone.
For
Thank
those
you.
that
You all.
ask
Thanks for
questions
having me.
about the event next week, if you were here, if you registered for this event, you will get an invite for the next event, which is September the 2nd. Okay. I think Miss Cheryl asked about that. Also, Rosenberg, Richmond. Unfortunately, I have not reached out to them. I can reach out to them. That will be okay with me, to see if they have a program, and if they do, definitely the invitation will be given to them. Okay, so thank you again. I love seeing your smiling faces. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.